Hi everyone, it's Keira and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the EIFEL Grand Prix tail end race review. So that Grand Prix was a little bit confusing. Some moments I really liked it, some moments I didn't, but in the end it was incredible. We had Ricardo on the podium and Lewis Hamilton equaling Michael Schumacher's win record. So for this video, I'm basically going to be talking you through the points of the race which I picked up on, and you know, some people were very stupid this race. And I'm also going to be talking you through my predictions because I'm not going to lie, stay till the end because I got the best prediction right. So yeah, before I get into this video, if you do enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. But yeah, let's just get started on my first point. Okay, so my first point is going to be, what the hell was Alex Albon doing? I don't know what he was doing this whole race. I don't think he knew what he was doing. It was so messy. Like, I am genuinely so confused as to what he was doing. First lap, I think it was turn 4, completely, like that's the worst lockup I think I've ever seen. Completely flat spotted his tyre, and from then he then had to pit on like lap 8 and change his tyres way too early because he'd flat spotted it. So straight away that was an issue. He should not have done that. I don't know where he thought he was going to even dive bomb into turn 4 anyway. But that kind of set it up. But I was like, no, that's fine. I didn't dislike him at this point of the race. But then, okay, we see him try and overtake Danny Kvyat. So Danny goes wide to turn 13, turn 14, just goes over the grass, and Alex goes to overtake him. Absolutely fine. Okay. And then all of a sudden, Danny Kvyat does not have a front wing anymore. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, like, what just happened? And I was like, no, my eyes must be deceiving me. Like, no way has Alex Albon just taken out his front wing by cutting across him. And he did. And I was like, because we saw it at the time with the helicopter view, and I was like, no, I really need a replay of this. I was like, did he really just do that? Yeah, he did. He did. He was trying to cut back over to take the corner, but it was completely mistimed. It's completely misjudged, and it was really clumsy. I've normally got excuses all day, every day for Alex Albon as to why this happened, but I have nothing for him this time. It was really clumsy, really messy. I would not have expected him to have done that, so it was kind of embarrassing as well, to be honest with you. But it didn't stop there. It really didn't stop there. You know, you thought, maybe that's like the last clumsy thing he'll do. No. So then later on in the race, Alex and Pierre, as they usually do recently actually, have found themselves at the same point of the track racing each other. And Alex tries to, I guess, dive bomb him into turn 1. We saw a lot of that this race. Also, I'm using natural lighting, by the way, if it does keep changing. Anyway, so yeah, we saw kind of like him trying to dive bomb down turn 1. Now we know we've seen that a lot this race. A lot of people were locking up, and that's kind of what Alex done. Locked up, went completely wide. It wasn't a massive lock up, but he did go wide. But like, he carried on going wide. And I don't really know how much of an effort he really made to actually try to turn right and away from Pierre. And if you see on Alex's onboard, Pierre literally had to turn his wheel left and get out of the situation. If not, they would have touched. And I'm just sitting here thinking, Alex, you're having such a messy race as it is. You've already done 600 pit stops. Like, don't create a scene that you don't need to create. And I just thought it was really messy from him this race. So luckily for him, Red Bull actually did retire him not long after that. I think it was like let me have a look. I think it was like lap 25, I want to say. Yeah, lap 25, they retired him with a suspected power unit issue. Honestly, I was kind of glad at this point because he was just so messy. He was all over the place. Don't know what he was doing, but it wasn't good. Okay, so my next issue, and I have got a little bit of a conspiracy here, is we just had engine issues everywhere, didn't we? Like, everywhere we had an engine issue. And it's almost as if, and I was actually filming for Backseat Driver for Veloce this weekend, and I was saying, I don't know what will be kept in, but I actually just had like this conspiracy or this feeling that there was just some sort of spirit or somebody around the track which was just kind of zapping at people, being like, oh, my lighting's actually changing really badly, isn't it? So it just seemed as if there was some like spirit or something over the track, which was just like, you can have an issue, you can have an issue. And there were so many drivers that had a power unit or something of the sort related issue. And it was just crazy because it wasn't like, oh, it's all Mercedes or it's all Renault or it's all Honda. It was literally just random, and it was so weird and actually quite worrying. Okay, so the third thing I'm going to talk about, and I think it's probably going to excite people the most, is Ricardo's podium. Now, we've kind of seen it maybe coming this year, but it's never quite came. But today was really close, and I kind of was sitting there thinking, oh my god, it's going to happen, but then I wasn't sure, and then I wasn't really like deep in the fact that this could literally happen, and it kind of felt like it was almost his first podium because we haven't seen one since 2018. And Checo was coming, and I was really worried, but then with the safety car, Daniel was able to pit, and then Checo was able to pit the lap after, so it's kind of like a 10-lap shootout, whether Checo could catch him up. I was kind of relaxed, more relaxed than I probably should have been, but I kind of knew Daniel was going to hold him, And I kind of knew that even if Checo was to dive bomb, Daniel would be able to cover it really well because he's a great defender. But yeah, it was just great to see Daniel on that podium again. Like, I loved it. I loved it. And I've got a new lock screen as well. I'll put it on screen now, my new lock screen. Dawny actually posted the picture and I gave it a little tweak and a little edit. And I just love it. And my fourth point is something that we have to speak on because it's just absolutely incredible, and it is that Lewis Hamilton has now equalled Michael Schumacher's win record of 91 Formula One Grand Prix wins. Oh my God, how has that happened? I have no idea. Time flies, like it really, really flies. I feel like it was only like 2 weeks ago he was on like his 40th win. Because I remember when he got his 44th win. Because I was like, oh my God, it's the same as like his car number. 91, how is this man on 91? Like, I think it's absolutely crazy. It just shows how good he is. Like, he's just amazing. He is going to carry on. He's going to get the 7th title. And as Michael Schumacher says, he always thought that records were there to be broken, and that's exactly what he's done today. It was so lovely to see Mick hand over the helmet that was Michael's when he was racing for Mercedes to Lewis. It was just so nice. And then Lewis to take it on the podium as well was amazing. It's just so nice to actually be there and see this history happening in Formula One. Okay, so on to my predictions time. Now, I made predictions at the Russian Grand Prix for this EIFEL GP, and I'm just going to say I kind of didn't do that bad. So for qualifying, I predicted that Lewis Hamilton was going to get pole position, Max Verstappen was going to get P2, and Daniel Ricciardo was going to get P3. That was wrong. That was quite wrong. It was actually Valtteri Bottas in P1, Lewis Hamilton P2, and Max Verstappen in P3. I think I remember saying that I thought maybe Bottas just, I don't know, disappeared or something happened, but it didn't. He did an amazing pole position lap. So for the race, I said Lewis Hamilton would win, Valtteri Bottas would get P2, and Daniel Ricciardo would get P3. And I mean, I kind of got P2 wrong, but the rest of it was right. Lewis won. Max Verstappen came P2 and Daniel Ricciardo came P3, and honestly, I don't know how I predicted that. I think I just kept thinking, you know, this Renault has got good momentum at the moment. There's going to have to be a time where they're going to get a podium, and it was today, and it's just so good. I think it's the 7th constructor to have got a podium this year, which we just never would have expected going into this year. Fastest lap, I said Daniel Ricciardo would get it. I kind of thought he was going to be on like a momentum, but it wasn't. It was Max Verstappen right at the end, took that from Lewis. And to retire first, I said Kimi, but it was actually George Russell, but it was Kimi's fault. Do we want to talk about that? Probably not. Let's just say, Kimi, that was an awful move, and poor George, he got absolutely sent. So in 2 weeks' time, we have the Portuguese Grand Prix, and again, new track. So I'm going to kind of go in blindfolded, and my predictions are that qualifying is going to be Lewis Hamilton in P1, Valtteri Bottas in P2, and Lando Norris in P3. Now, I know that could be a little bit optimistic. We know that McLaren are struggling with their new upgrades at the moment, and we know that Renault are kind of overtaken and racing point 2, but I'm still going to be optimistic, as I feel like he is very good in qualifying, and I'd like to think that McLaren can bring it back up. For the race, I've said Valtteri Bottas will win. I've said Lewis Hamilton will come P2 and Max Verstappen will come P3. At this point, I don't even know if I can really guess anything else because they are just really up there, and if it wasn't for Valtteri losing power today, that would have been the result. For fastest lap, I've said Valtteri Bottas. I don't know, maybe I just feel like he's going to get a clean sweep and get the 26 points. And to retire first, I've said Carlos Sainz. I just feel like maybe the McLaren might have an issue like Lando did this weekend, and it might have an issue with its new upgrades, or it might have an issue with just something. So there we go, that is it for my tail end race review for the EIFEL Grand Prix. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I will be back again. I'm pretty sure I've got like 2 other videos coming out this week, so be ready for that and subscribe down below. But yeah, thank you for watching again, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.